What's up, Bone here, and today I'm going to be talking about the difference between console and PC gaming. I personally prefer PC gaming, but a lot of people are die-hard PlayStation, Xbox fans, and I respect that. And it's your personal choice. I don't care that I don't mind that you prefer PlayStation or an Xbox. It's just kind of your personal preference. I personally prefer PC because you can customize it more, but it can end up being a hell of a lot more to customize than getting a PlayStation 4 that's something like $400, I believe, and a gaming PC at high end. If you get the new graphics cards, the new CPUs, and all the new stuff, can end up being $4,000 to $10,000 depending on what you really invest in. If you invest in a fancy graphics card, it's gonna bump up your cost 400 to a couple $1,000. The Titan Z, I believe, the high end version is $3,000. But a PlayStation 4 and Xbox with the set specs it has is a maximum of $500 if you buy it brand new from an actual viable dealer. Some dealers will try to rip you off and sell it for 600 or whatever, and that's probably not the place you want to be buying from. But I find PCs to be more customizable and you can utilize the specs more efficiently. PlayStations and Xboxes are currently with the next gen consoles capped at 60 frames per second. My computer with a GTX 970 and a Intel CPU that's running at 3.6 gigahertz can run Battlefield 4 at 150-160 frames per second, and that runs Battlefield at a very, very smooth pace, and running that on a 144 hertz monitor utilizes that frame rate completely. But having a standard 60 hertz monitor, if you're running at 160 frames, it's not going to utilize the frame rate completely with a 60 hertz monitor. So I would have G-Sync enabled for that situation, because having 60 hertz as a monitor speed, that's pretty much the frame rate it's going to run at, and G-Sync or V-Sync is pretty much utilizing that full extent of the 60, 30, and 90 frame rates to work with your monitor most efficiently. If you get out of the 60 to 90, if you're in between, and same with the 30 to 60, there's the chance you're going to get screen tearing because it's trying to divide the frame rate, but it's not going to get a even number when it comes to dividing 30 frames by when you have between 60 and 90. So let's say you have 70 frames, it's not going to be able to divide it completely and evenly, so you're going to have a set of screen tearing, I guess, in that sense. But with a 144 hertz monitor, you utilize that frame rate a little better, and most games will not run at 144 hertz or 144 frames per second or whatever. But I find gaming PCs to be a worthwhile investment, but it's a long-term overall cost because you have to upgrade certain components every once in a while, and parts will wear out. But that's also with consoles. But consoles come under warranty, and they are easier to cover. But personally, I like PC gaming. I played on the PlayStation 4 for over a year, loved it to death. I loved Destiny. That game was freaking awesome. But after I got a upgrade on my gaming PC, I found that my PS4 became obsolete. I really only used it for Destiny. Battlefield 4, I just started to utilize it completely on PC, and I found it to be more accurate. Right now, you're watching some Metro footage from the Battlefield 4 version, and that I thought would be a fairly reasonable way to represent the frame rate and the control, I guess. You can't really tell the frame rate because it's filmed at 60 hertz, or not 60 hertz, but 60 frames per second. And the sensitivity I can adjust on my mouse very easily with just two buttons. When I'm sniping, I lower the sensitivity. When I'm running with an assault rifle, I raise the sensitivity so I can whip around and shoot someone in the face if they come whipping past me. And I find that higher sensitivity is good for some situations, lower is fantastic, for example, sniping, so you can slowly go in to the person's head and line up that headshot a lot more effectively than going back and forth with the mouse until you kind of line up the headshot, and then by that time the sniper has zeroed you in and he shoots you and you shoot him, and maybe you shoot each other, but maybe you shot too late or didn't even shoot at all before he lined it up on you. So I think that PC gaming is the way to go, but people are diehard PlayStation fans and Xbox fans, and that's completely fine. It's your choice. It's honestly whatever your preference is. I hate gaming at 60 frames now, but I will do it if the game is not optimized very well, and some indie games are not optimized at all for whatever reasons. Batman Arkham Knight, for example, is capped at 30 frames because there are a lot of performance issues on the PC. I think the PS4 version has no cap, where it's set at the 60, I guess is the cap. Correct myself. But I think that PC gaming is still the way to go, but people have their opinions, and if you have your opinion, fantastic. It's not really my choice to judge you. I could judge you, but it's really whatever you want. That's all for this video. Subscribe, and tell me in the comments what you want to see more of. Happy gaming, and take it easy.